Welcome back, everyone. I had received a few weeks ago my latest dividend from Apple stock. I own some Apple shares, and you can see my Robinhood portfolio right here. This is my total Robinhood portfolio, but as you know, I have several other portfolios, and I did a video showing you how I actually built. Now it's a lot higher than that. Now it's around like 120 combined, but I actually built a $100,000, a six-figure portfolio, all right before the age of 19, a little bit after 19, essentially 19. I would call it 18 though. And you can see that video. The link will be on the homepage of my channel, and it's always been there. I've kept it there. It's a staple. And you can see I give a lot of tips and tricks on how to save and budget, all of the great things that you can do to start making your money work for you and building wealth. So I'm actually going to be showing you a 1-year update because I've so far received, after all the time I've held Apple. Now, this isn't exactly the best representation because I've actually held Apple just a little bit more than I have it here in my Robinhood portfolio. So I had Apple in an E-Trade portfolio years ago, just a few shares, so you can tack on like a couple pennies to the numbers I'm going to be showing you. But I've held Apple for the majority of my lifetime holding Apple in this Robinhood portfolio, so it's pretty good at representation. But just know that there were like one or two other dividends that I probably received with the E-Trade portfolio. But let's take a look at the Robinhood portfolio here, and it recently crossed over $50,000. Good day for the market today. And we're going to go to the history. This is the total Apple history for all of the market buys that I've purchased, as well as the dividends that I've received over the months. Just for Apple, of course, I own many other companies, but this is just strictly Apple that we're looking at. The reason I'm pointing out Apple specifically is it's one of the most invested in companies, $1 trillion market cap. You know the deal with Apple. I did a video a while back actually comparing Apple and Microsoft. I actually compared which stock is the better buy. Now, I own both Apple and Microsoft. You just got to get a piece of each pie there. But I talked about, the pros of owning Apple and the outlook for the company, and I also talked about the cons for Apple and potentially why they might not be as innovative as they were in the past. I also took a look at the pros and cons of Microsoft. Great company for artificial intelligence if you want to be invested in that sector. Microsoft and Apple. Microsoft is definitely the way to go. They're really investing heavily into AI, and that is basically our future, next 100 years or so. And then there's some cons with Microsoft. I pointed out why the growth may not be as much, but I took a look at both companies, and you can take a look at that for yourself and your thoughts, what you think about both companies. You can compare the two. Now, this is the total history, but if we want to look at just dividends, you can filter it. So you click on dividends here on my screen, and here are the 4 dividends I have received in the lifespan that I have held Apple in my Robinhood portfolio specifically. Now, I'm not the best at math, and that should be a good thing. You should be hoping that I'm not that good at math, because it also shows that you too can invest, make your money work for you while you're sleeping, while you're eating, while you're exercising. No matter what you're doing, your money is going to work for you like soldiers in the night. It's getting that compound interest from the growth of reinvesting your dividends, and of course the appreciation side as well of the market. And Apple is one of the biggest companies on the Dow, and so you're going to want to get your piece of the total sector. So if you're not invested in any tech stocks, then Apple should definitely be on the top of your list. They are simply too big to fail at this point in my view. So I actually have a percentage increase calculator, and the reason why we're going to be using that we'll get to in a second. But here we go. Here's Apple's dividend history in my Robinhood portfolio. So the first dividend I received was in August 15, 2019. That was $16.94. Then November 14th, $20.02. February 13th, $24.64. May 14th, most recently, $34.44. Granted, this does include me having to reinvest those dividends as well as buying more shares every month. I follow a strict investing plan. And so, but you can see a pattern here. The dividends are increasing. Now, this is just after 1 year. If you got 4 quarters here, now think about 10 years, now think about 20 years, and you're reinvesting those dividends, and you're buying and repurchasing more shares every single month. It's massive growth. Then couple that with all the other stocks I own. It's all growth. It all takes a snowball effect, and you can make a full-time income literally just off of dividends. Not right away, depending on how much money you have, but one day you can literally just live off of dividends. This is a great source of income that's basically guaranteed. Doesn't just mean that you're going to throw your money at any company that pays a dividend. You got to look at the dividend history, look at the stability, look at the appreciation side as well. Because one thing, big mistake that newbie investors make is that they take a company, they say, oh, it pays a 20% dividend, perfect. I'll just put in all my money in there and just get that 20%. Not as easy as it sounds. Sounds great, 20%. Actually, if you look at the total growth of the stock, you might be in the negative because the company has had a downtrend for the last 10 years. So you got to look at companies that are stable like Apple, very consistent dividend. It's only gone up over its entire period since its inception. So Apple's a great company to look at. There's other companies that you could buy as well. If you're not a fan of Apple, by all means, you don't have to buy it. But Apple is something that I own and I will continue to own probably as long as I live. So what I have here is a percentage increase calculator because I can't do the math myself, but let's just use this calculator. It's a great way to do it so you don't have to watch me trying to figure all this out. I know there's the formula that gives you down there, but this just makes it a little bit more expedient, a little more convenient for you viewers out there who don't want to watch a miserable fail at some math. So the starting value, the reason we're going to do this is we're going to look at how much the dividend has increased over the period of time. So we're going to first start just month to month. We're going to do actually, or quarter to quarter rather. We're going to be looking at one quarter and then looking at the next, seeing how much the dividend has increased quarter by quarter. So we're going to first take this number right here. Let's copy it. I think we can do it like right there. Yep. 1694. That's a starting value. Then the next dividend I received was 2002. So let's calculate the percentage increase there. That was an 18.1818 increase percentage-wise. So over an 18% increase from just the first quarter to the next quarter. Rather substantial. Let's take a look, and the number should be larger if my math serves me correctly. If we do 2464 as the final value, and we do 2002 as the starting, that is a 23.0769% increase in value. So you can see from there, 5% more on top than the first increase due to compound interest, due to that money taking a snowball domino effect, just growing and growing. Now let's do, and this number, you don't even have to really do the math, you know it's going to be a lot more substantial. 2464 as the starting, and then 3444 as the final. Let's see that percentage increase. 39.7727% increase in value from that dividend, more specifically the February dividend all the way to the May dividend. Quite significant if you ask me. That is the power of compound interest. Now, let's do a better number. This one is probably going to be close to like 100%. There's basic eyeballing there. But if we were to take the dividend I'm receiving now, which is going to just increase due to compound interest, and I'm buying more shares, no matter if the market is up or down, it's still going to maintain that growth. Let's do all the way from the beginning, 1694 as a starting, and then 3444 was the most recent one, right? So that's already in there. Let's look at that percentage increase just in 4 quarters. Over 100% actually, right? 16 to 34, 17 to 34 basically. 103.306% increase in dividends in just 4 quarters. You see the pattern here. It's only going up. That's insanity. Over 100%. The dividends that I received on the first quarter when I first invested into my Robinhood portfolio was now double the value. It's now double the value that it is right now. That's insane growth. And that just goes to show you the power of putting your money to work and investing. And Robinhood now offers fractional shares, so there's no excuse. If you just want to round up your purchases, let's say you purchase something at McDonald's, you spend $1.50, You want to round up, just put those 50 cents into something. In Robinhood, you can now invest and put just as little as a penny into Robinhood. So there's no excuses for you not to invest. I am sure you can find things that you can cut down on. I am sure that you can find things that are unnecessary purchases. You're just trying to give yourself instant gratification. This is the power of putting your money to work with you. Now, you may right off the bat say, $34 and change, that's nothing significant. Keep in mind, it's the power of saving that money. That money could have went, we're talking about what I bought Apple for, that money could have just went to something nonsensical. And the appreciation of that money, so that money has actually grown over the years, and I'm receiving dividends from it, and the dividends continue to grow. All of these factors combined is a great way to build your wealth from any age. You can be young, old, doesn't matter. You could start investing today. So if you'd like to start investing, my link will be down below in the description. Check that out. You can sign up for Robinhood, get a free stock. When you sign up, you get a free stock, I get a free stock. It's a win-win scenario, helps me out, and it also gives you that free stock just for opening up an account with Robinhood. So start investing today. We are in an unprecedented opportunity where prices are slashed at tremendously discounted prices because of the current situation. So if you're going to invest at any time, you don't have to time the market. You don't have to necessarily wait that second to get into the lowest price. No one can time the market, not even Warren Buffett can. But now is a good time to start if you were ever thinking about starting to invest. So use my link down below, Robinhood. I'll also include Webull. If you're not a fan of Robinhood for any reason, you can also sign up for Webull. You'll get a free stock valued up to $1,400 with Webull. And you can sign up other people, get them free stocks, you get free stocks. Now I'm curious to hear if you do already invest, what are you invested in? What platform do you use? Do you use Robinhood? Do you use Webull? Do you use other ones like M1 Finance or E-Trade, TD, Ameritrade, Thinkorswim? What do you use? Tell me down below in the comments. I'm curious to hear. But I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up, smash the like button. And if you'd like to see more videos from my channel, I post videos every single week without fail, covering business, finance, entrepreneurship, mindset, strategy, and tips and tricks from my own experience. Be sure that you do subscribe, hit that big red button. And if you'd like to be notified every single time I make a new video so that you're first in line to see it before anyone else sees it, be sure that you do click that notification bell as well. Click that notification bell. Just notify you every single time. That way you are first in line to see that video before anyone else. And be notified every single time. You'll actually get an alert to your phone if you have the YouTube app. So you're going to want to do that as well. But I look forward to seeing you in the next video.